You think this will be better?
I think that you won't have to duck and I can stand up straight. That's really as far ahead as I've thought.
Jump it. You jump it. You jump it, bro. Good dog. Jazz, could you do a spin? Good boy. You're a good dog. Good, good dog. Who's a good dog? You jump it. Brown boy, can you do a spin? Well done. Catch it. Yeah, well done. Yeah, I'm still spacing out a bit. I'm really proud of us. Really impressed with you. Really impressed with me. Really impressed with us from 2021. I'm really impressed with us now watching the vlogs back. Like, dude, that was a hell of a year.
It's been a hell of a life.
I didn't even notice like all the stuff we were learning. Sort of the level of realizations and self-awareness layers that we were gaining, and like processes that have always run in us, and the patterns we always repeated when engaging with abusive people. That's like the fact that I don't spot gaslighting by design, and learning and getting taught.
Insisting to be taught. You had to have manipulation lessons and everything. It's not like you do. You didn't even want to just learn from situation, you wanted extra hours.
Yeah, I remember. It was a lot of work. Like a serious amount of trauma processing starting. And I really thought that we were not like, you know, our interactions with the system that had us notice all of these things, like by doing triggering shit. I really just thought like, oh, add it to the pile. Like, leave it, Jess. Good boy. Another person that's a dick, you know, like, very fucking surprising. Who's shocked? But now I'm watching it back and I'm like, it did kind of like every single one of these events hasn't been just like, oh, whatever, you know, this same thing we're used to and move on. It's been impacting us on a deeper level without us being aware, and re-triggering old abandonment wounds and old traumas, I think our whole lives. And it's like with every person, the person that triggers it really is kind of irrelevant. I think because at a certain stage we're not really seeing them anymore. They're like filling in the blanks for the abusive assholes in the past that they have, I guess, started to remind us of. So that's like the frame that we accidentally apply to them and start the lens that we start seeing them through. It's strange to notice that, like, oh, all of the traumas and all of the experiences in our life did like have an emotional impact. It's just we were not there in our bodies where the emotions are impacting to notice it happen at the time. And it's strange also to like because I think the way we defensively worked was we had young parts that could feel the emotional attachment and the abandonment trauma and the betrayal and like where that stuff kind of lives, that would feel it so deeply and so intently, and it would affect how we interacted with people and what sort of behaviour we'd tolerate in regards to like how we were treated and stuff. because I guess abuse was just so normalised, and our mistreatment has been normalised throughout our entire lives, so you didn't even realise there was anything wrong with it for a long time, but you do at the same time, like, you realise on one layer that it's not fucking right. And a lot of the videos that I'm watching is like, at the time you just kind of gaslight yourself. Like, I guess because this behaviour and this pattern was instilled in really early childhood and has been, you know, rerun and rerun so many times, it's just basically our default. So we'd always find some reason or some excuse for why, oh, we're probably just being paranoid. Or, of course, we see manipulation and we don't trust people, but it's like, no, actually, our gut has always been completely accurate and on our side. And you've always been entirely right. Every time.
To be fair though, I also have thought that Poe and Ryan and you are manipulating me. So I do see it where it's not at the same time. I'm always right, but I'm a bit trigger happy. Like, I'm right when it is there, but when it's not there, it's taken a little while to learn what that looks like, or what that can look like.
You do some impressive shit. Every fucking day, but like, watching you fight to get information recorded with other parts of you was just like, it's wild how hard you try, and in the situations that I'm like, how are you not even catatonic in those? I think similar for like, it's just so fucking extreme when watching what you have to deal with, but I do think the same of me, like any videos where I've seen me managing to get information out, managing to vlog, and I'm like, oh, this is so fucking helpful, I'm so glad we have this recorded now, and like, oh my god, I remember the hell that it was to speak, and like, the amount of rampant insecurities we had going off at the time, and how painful it was, and how confusing it was, and like, there's a lot of shit to fight through to be able to talk, and I'm so glad that we did. I'm just really amazed. I feel like this vlog's all over the place, but I always feel like they're all over the place, and then we watch them back and I'm like, oh no, I made sense. So I think it depends on if I'm like floating a bit when we're recording, which I am a little, because whenever I watch back your videos, they contain so much that I don't have access to. And like, trying to integrate that information, trying to hold on to it and not just immediately get blanked or forget it. It's like I have to digest it physically in the body, like I have to bring it into reality and then risk panic attacks and process the pain into, like, I have to process it on a level where it becomes a fucking embodied sensation to remember the information, otherwise I just blank it every time, even if I've seen it.
Different jobs.
Very. I'm not complaining, really. It's a lot. Did I just throw out mic?
No, it's on your collar.
Ah. Clever. God, it really is a lot. It's like, my posture's so fucked as well, my back hurts. I feel like I go into freeze a bit easily and we'll just sit there like not moving, kind of crumpled, and I need to stretch so fucking much once we move. Even here, like standing here, I kind of stand quite still. Get clean up, Livy. We gotta move slow today because it's very warm, so I can't just throw you endlessly. Man, it's a lot.
Cheers.